Hello, beautiful people. I'm just here for a quick one to give a shout out to a film that I've watched recently, which is called Fragile X. And as the name, it talks about the syndrome of Fragile X. It's quite similar to autism in the way that it affects the way that the brain function, but it's a bit different. So for those of you that don't know, I used to volunteer with adults on the autism spectrum, and I used to work as a teaching assistant for kids on the autism spectrum. And I think something that this film kind of reminds us, which is not, again, Fragile X is a bit different than autism, but it also has similarities. Why do I say specifically that? Is because something that we forget and we hardly talk about is that even though it has an umbrella name of autism, or in this case, Fragile X, they are different. And each one of those there's a reason why it's called autism spectrum, because there are different types and different levels that people might have it, or kids might have it. And something that is important to mention, and that the film is mentioning, is about the fact how usually when people have it, quite often they have another skill and a passion that they find that they become specifically attached to, and they might have an amazing skill at. So their brain might work differently than what we consider normal. I do this because the whole definition of normal is something that I do not agree with. I might do the next vlog about normal, and specifically there's quite often there's the thing of touch and body closeness that on some levels of the spectrum they are uncomfortable with touch and someone being on their space, which, to be honest, quite a lot of us are the same, but we were just taught to be more comfortable with that, or to agree to people being in our area without getting freaked out about it. It doesn't mean that we're comfortable with it. It's just meant that we were adapted to it, and their brain quite often works differently, that it wasn't adapted. But in general, it doesn't mean that they might not have a skill or a gift or something that they're better than most people at. And I think that film is specifically mentioning that in an amazing way, and reminds us that. And the in general, I'm trying to say that without spoilers, in general, I think that the film kind of shows how it's important in situations like this to remember that you are still a family, and everyone together kind of still showing the love, and the love still exists there. And I think it's a beautiful story, and a beautiful reminder, and a beautiful also information for those that don't know much about autism or yeah, or in this case, Fragile X. So yeah, that's my recommendation of the film, and a little shout out and a little important information, just to remind us all that just because something is not normal doesn't mean it doesn't have a gift. And yeah, watch Fragile X. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if it's already available for the public. I think it's mainly now on the film festival circuit, but if you go to a film festival and you see Fragile X on the agenda, watch it.